Hey everyone, and welcome to my YouTube video. This is Benji, and I will be demonstrating on how to create this Splide Webflow Marquee effect. So this is a low-code solution when creating a marquee in your Webflow. So example of those marquee are those logos that scrolls horizontally, and then sometimes if you loop those scrolling logos, there's this cut, right, when they loop from the beginning, from last to beginning, right? So in order for us to have a seamless loop in the marquee, we are going to use this low code solution. So for this one, I'm using Splide JS. So Splide JS is, I've been using this for quite a long time. And then let's start with our project. So Splide is a great tool to create your own custom solutions, especially for Marquee and Splide, as I said earlier. So these are the examples. And then right there, you can check out their examples. So for start, these are their basic structure. And then this one is, we are going to recreate how they structure those HTML to our Webflow. So let's start with this one. So for this one, I'm using client first, but in your case, you don't need client first. I just wanted to use it because it helps me to create faster websites. So let's start by creating a empty block, and then let's just copy that to, you notice they have four divs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I am going to copy those divs. So now we have our 4 empty divs in our Webflow, in our site. So what we are going to do is, let's copy this CSS in our Webflow. So for example, I'll be copy paste that in our main Splide. So example that one. Then let's move this here. Copy the Splide track in here, and then again with the Splide list, copy that one in here. And then the last part would be the Splide. So we have our basic Splide structure. Now what we're going to do is we'll be removing this CSS because we already created them here in our Webflow website. So remove that and then delete that. Okay, so now this time we are going to create our own CSS classes here, and then we will append those Splide CSS in our newly created CSS class. So what this means is that I'll be showing you here, for example. So I already created those CSS, but for educational purposes, I will be just clicking this. For example, the wrapper, and then another sample that I created, that would be the track. Next one would be the sample. Where is the key? Sample list, and then sample item. Right, and now we can create our own. We can create, or we can add now the images. So for example, we'll create a new div block in this section, and then sample image wrapper, and then the image. Let's create the image, and then next one is the CSS class that we created. So I set it as 100%, and then sample. Let's pick an image, for example here. and then this one, we could now duplicate it by typing Control D. So we can add or duplicate as much as we want because we already added this HTML structure. So now we are you could for example, this is the default when creating your own div blocks and CSS styling. Now, since we are going to make this scrollable or a marquee or a mark, we could set this up in a flex so that it would be the same with this one. So marquee, and then next would be the code. We will need to add the code that the Splide JS uses. So let's go to the header and footer section. So I already added them here, right? And then here, I will provide this code in my website, so don't fret. And then this one. So this, I'll explain this in a minute. So I am using this one. So we have to copy this one because this will be the target of our code where the marquee would be applied, because it will just be because if we didn't use this one, it will just stay there. So look for the main one, and let's add now the CSS, the Splide here. We need to add that, and then the next one, the Splide track, and then the Splide list, and then I forgot to add the CSS for this as well, so I will be duplicating that one here and there. And then next is we have to remember this HTML, the ID, right? So we have to put that on top of our Splide. So example, would that be this one. We have to add that here where the Splide resides, right? So look for the Splide, which is this one. Add that ID there. You can create your own ID, example Marquee. You can add your own custom ID names and then update the code here, right? So for now, I will be using a Marquee, the H sliders, just my preference. And then let's save this, and then publish, and we'll see if it applies. Then let's check our website in the front end. Yep, now it's working, and it's also draggable, right? So it also pause if you hover on it. And then we have an issue for this one. So for this one, we need to create a new div block. Let's create a div block under the Splide track class, and then Splide arrows, and then set this up to none, and then publish it, then refresh, and now it's gone. Now we could customize it if you want to, like infinite borderless marquee tool. We could move that. We could move this into this section, this one where we don't have a paddings, and then page, publish, and then let's check it out on our website, and then there you go. So it's now borderless or no paddings on both ends. And now we can customize it. For example, we replace the picture with this one, replace this with another image, and then so on and so forth. And then this one, and then another one right there. So we already we have now our marquee images of marquee images. Right now we could customize it under the image wrapper div. For example, I will be set them up as 4 rems, so at least they have spaces on them. Let's just select 1 rem and then publish, and then there you go. And then I think it wasn't updated. Right there. So now it has a padding, so they don't look like cramp, right? There you go. And then the configuration, it's kind of self-explanatory. So you have the loop type. This one is per page, how many images or div blocks you wanted to display by default. I choose 6. If you want to choose 10, you can do that here, and then I'll just revert back to 6. And then you could add some breakpoints like 3 items or 3 images. Same for the tablet or mobile landscape. And then you have the pagination as false. I believe that one who you have that dots, then auto start, and then so we added this because of the Webflow interaction. Sometimes it doesn't work, so we have to mount this. We have to mount as well the interaction, Webflow's interaction in this one. So yeah, if you wanted this to use in your website, feel free to check out my website where I will be pasting this code. By the way, if you wanted to add something here, for example, usually don't do colors or text. Usually don't do that where the slide is reside. You have to create a new div inside this slide, because as much as possible, don't customize this, because Splide has its own CSS that might cause a conflict. I think this one. So better to create a new div inside this div where we could customize it there, so that we could not create a conflict. Example text, and then try to publish it. Then let's check this out on the front end. Right there. And then if we try to drag this on our, as you can see, it automatically set to 3 items, right? From 6 to 3. If you wanted to display 6, you can do that as well in here. So yeah, let me know if it helps you, and then yeah, see you on the comment section.